everybody, and welcome to another edition of Corner. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Witches Winging It with me, Buffy. I'm inside. My poor co-host, my sister from another mister, Jen is out of commission tonight. She is down with a cold. So I want everybody to wish her well. And send her a little love because she needs some love tonight. So in her absence, I am flying solo tonight. So I thought I would do something fun. Not like we don't do stuff that's already fun to begin with. I thought we would talk about divination and do some tarot card readings off the cuff and maybe do some dowsing rods. So don't mind the Missy behind me. That's my familiar Maven. She has decided that, her dinner wasn't good enough. She trying to eat out of the dang can. Get out there. Pardon me for just a minute. Move things around for a minute. She decided that her dinner was not sufficient. And she was trying to eat out the dang can. I am working off of my phone for my Facebook page. Not but 2 minutes, and I got kicked off again. So we're gonna do this again. Sometimes Spirit don't like the fact that I got kicked off. Spirit don't like me tonight, apparently. So jump back on, everybody. Hey, Jay White, I see you in there. In the chats. Let's see about the comments here. I'm gonna turn my volume off so that I thought my phone was bugging out. No, your phone wasn't bugging out, honey. Tonight we're gonna be talking about divination, tarot cards, and dowsing rods. So tarot cards and these bad boys right here are what you call dowsing rods. These are parts of divination. When we talk about divination, we talk about calling spirit or divining spirit to show up. Okay? And spirit's going to help us do what we need to do or what we ask of it to do. So, I'm going to put my dowsing rods down and hopefully Maven will decide that she don't want to play with them. But we're going to check anyway. So I actually, she's playing with them already. I set up a post on Facebook. So this is why you're all here. I have two people that wanted me to do tarot readings that actually gave a thumbs up today for me to do tarot cards for them. So I'm going to wait and see if Allie shows up. If Allie shows up, she can say yes that she's here. Um, Divination is when you actually open doors. Okay. You open doors to the other side. Let's clarify the divination, um, the divination word. Divination is when you call across the veil to spirit and ask spirit to help you perform certain practice or what you're planning to do. Tarot cards, divining rods, they are ways to open portals to the other side. Now, are they just like a Ouija board? Yes. Ouija boards are the same, one of the same things. Okay. But with tarot cards, it is the readers, spirits behind them, and guides that help them with the cards. So, yes, in fact, it is a way of opening up portals. Okay. You just have to be very careful of how you do these things. Ouija boards, I tell people not to use Ouija boards. And the reason I tell people not to use the Ouija boards is because it's not a game. Neither are these. Neither is this. These are spiritual practice. You must first learn how to attune your cards, whatever you're using to divine, your dowsing rods, pendulums, attune them to you and your spirits and your spirit guides or your energies. Once you've done that, you need to learn how to open them and how to close them when they are finished. There are certain ways of doing it. So be very careful when you do tarot and you do divining rods. All right. The only reason we are against using Ouija boards is because a lot of people get scared and they run or they shove it under the bed without closing it properly. You do not know, unless you have the gift of discernment or you use or practice your discernment on clues for yourself that tell you what is speaking to you is not the person you are trying to contact, but something else. That is it. If you know how to discern, you will understand who is speaking to you. Whether it's your dear Aunt Edna, who's dead, who's been dead some 20-odd years, or a demonic or negative entity. You practice safely. When you close or when you are finished, you close the door between that plane and this plane, and you make sure you close it well with spell. Some people are way too into being scared and shove that Ouija board under the bed without closing it. That portal is still open. That is a highway for everything and anything to come through it. And that's why you're calling people like Tim, or you're calling people like me, or you're calling people like Bro to come help you because you have lost control of the situation. All right. So remember that. Each time I use these tarot cards, I am very safe. I bless them. They are tuned to me. I open the doors. I say a special spell prior to opening the doors to not allow negative spirit through. When I am finished, I close these by saying again another spell, call it a prayer, a blessing, whatever you want to call it. And then I smudge these and I put them away in a closed box that no one is allowed to touch. These things, like these tarot cards, my divining rods, I don't let anybody else use them. They're mine. The worst thing you could do when you go for a tarot card reading is to reach across the table and grab the tarot reader's cards. That is disrespectful. Don't ever do that. They are attuned to their energy only. And then when you go touching them, you wind up putting your juju on them. They don't work for the tarot reader anymore, or they are considered sullied. That would mean I have to get a whole new deck or smudge and cleanse this deck for days in order to do what I want it to do. Okay. So, Jay, do you want a reading? I'll have her see if she's going to answer me. So, I am going to go ahead and do Allie's cards real quick. I don't know if she's going to look at this later, if she's actually in the chat, or what's going on with her right now. But we're going to go ahead and shuffle these cards real quick. I shuffle until Spirit allows me or tells me, child, that's enough. Okay. Sure, if you want to. Do you want me to do yours first? I'll do yours first. I'll wait for Allie to give Allie a chance to pop in because she's in another time zone. So that may cause her to be a little late up in here. So I'm going to shuffle one more time, Jay, and we're going to find out what's going on with you, honey. Now, I usually use 2 decks of cards. I bring 2 decks with me, but I allow Spirit to dictate which deck of cards it wants me to use. And more oftentimes than not, it's the Macabre deck. The Macabre deck talks about shadow work or things that you need to work on. It comes in a box like this, you know, that opens. When it opens, it creaks like a coffin. So this deck I bought at Sherry's, which is the Tree of Life shop in Ringtown, Pennsylvania. You've heard me talk often about Sherry. You've seen those. You have seen those. Yeah. You saw them when I worked the expo in Gettysburg when you were here last, which was, I believe, in March. One more time and we're going to get them started. Now, I'll show you the cards on the screen. I'm working on a desk down here that you can't really see. So I'm going to cut the deck. And I'm going to do 3 card spreads because sometimes more than 3, it takes too long to do. Okay. Let's see here. All righty then. The first card I'm going to draw is a past. We usually do past, present, future. As of late, Spirit has been asking me to draw 13 cards. 13 is a very specific number to those in the witchy practice or in the pagan practice. Those who are Christian may say it refers to the 13 original apostles. The 13th being Judas of Iscariot. We all know what happened to Judas. So we ain't going there with that. The first card is your past, and I will pull it up. This card here is the Judgment card. Okay? Judgment in your past refers to the people who judged you. They judged you without knowing the entire story, and that's a terrible thing. Or you felt like you were being judged by other people, by the things you said, the things you did, the way you acted, because you did not, so to speak, follow along with everybody else. You were cut from a different cloth. So you were like the black sheep. While everybody was doing the hokey pokey, you out here in the side doing the mambo. And everybody looking at you like, why can't you be normal? like the rest of us. These people try to put you in a box. And I'm the first one to tell you, don't let anybody put you in a box. You can answer yes or no in the chat just to make sure that I am on the right path, or whatever hits for you. Say yes. Okay. So you don't have to be a silent Bob while I'm doing this. You let too many people's opinions of you define who you are, or you let too many people's opinions be your business. Let me tell you something. Other people's opinions of you are none of your damn business. And number one, they should never live in your head rent free. And you've let them live in your head rent free. And that's a terrible thing. Don't ever do that. You got judged just for being you. Sometimes you got judged without even opening your dang mouth. And that's a terrible thing. Those are toxic people. Those are people that apply to misery loves company. And they want you to act like them. Girl, even if you're Christian, if that was the case and God wanted everybody to act normal or act the same way, why didn't he make us all look the same and do the same dang thing or have the same opinion? That does not matter. Okay? So remember that. I think at this point, you are still letting some people live in your head rent free. You're still allowing people to live in your head rent free. And you are still valuing some people's opinions that don't mean a hill of beans. Okay? Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? Um, the next card is your present. The present is the Three of Cups. Okay? Now, these cards look scary, but we don't go by pictures. This is why they call it the macabre deck. Okay? Cups talks about communication. All right? There is a huge amount of miscommunication with you and people around you. All right? If someone was to go outside and say, "Hey, Jay, guess what? The sky is purple." You're the first one to believe them. Don't believe those people. All right? Don't think first. Use that nut you got right up here in your noggin. All right? Mm-hmm. That's why God gave it to you. Okay? So you're going to use that nut in your noggin, and you are going to use discernment. Don't let people feed you lines. There are people in your present that are feeding you lines. There always is. Well, you know what, honey? Why aren't you dropping them like a hot dang potato? Why? Don't do that to yourself. Use your own judgment. And you need to get rid of that which does not serve you. Because there are a number of people that circle you in your inner circle that like to feed you lines and tell you untruths. Listen to your gut. Your gut will never lead you wrong. I've told you that multiple times, Miss Ma'am. I do. I ignore them. Well, you need to start ignoring a lot more people than just those people. Okay? And just educate yourself and stay away from those people who want to feed you lines and want to, in fact, these are the people that will talk, because Spirit is showing me, you know what Spirit is showing me? Have you ever seen the theater masks, the one happy and the one sad? Well, that's what Spirit is showing me. So basically what they're saying, Spirit is saying, is they are one way to you, to your face, and the minute you're going out of the room, they're yapping about you. They're backstabbing. Don't let them people do that to you. Show them what's good. Okay? That's what you need to do. All right? In your future, if you don't continue to do that, this is what's going to happen. We call it the Five of Bones. The Five of Bones talks about Two-Face. That's correct. Hey, Beth, how are you, hon? Talks about self-destruction. You're going to be your own destruction. So basically what that means, if you continue to believe those people and continue to not get rid of that which does not serve you, you are going to be your own self-destruction. All right? And there are going to be people around you that say, "I told you so. I told you so. Why'd you listen to them people? Now you're in a bit of trouble." You know what I mean? Don't let them be your destruction and leave you with a heap of mess that you got to dig yourself out of. It is not necessary for you to keep 5,000 people as friends and 4,999 of them people just want to be around you and take what you have, which is kindness, you're good-hearted, and want to use it. They're just users. And then ignore that one person that's trying to tell you the truth. Your tribe, and I've said this multiple times, your tribe does not have to be that big. A tree only needs but 2 roots to give it everything it needs. Those people are the people that have been with you through everything and anything that you have been through. They have stuck by your side, sometimes silently. Doesn't matter that you don't have a large group of friends or a lot of friends. Those 2 that have been with you through your good times and your bad times, and again, sometimes sat there silently, let you go through what you had to go through, and then patted you on the back, said, "You good? Are you okay now? Now that you've had your fit?" Like a bad drummer in a windstorm. That's what that exactly. Trust him. Tune him out like a bad drum in a windstorm. Yep, you got to tune him out. Those 2 friends, or maybe 3 friends, or maybe it's only 1 friend that you have been through a lot with, who has been there for you through the thick and thin. That is that ride or die person that you could call at 3:00 in the dang morning, and say, "I need somebody to talk to," or "I need somebody to come pick me up." They don't tell you that they're asleep, that they got work tomorrow. Their first 2 questions to you are, "What happened?" and "Where are you?" And the next statement they make is, "I'll be there in 10. I'll be there in 5. My circle is small, but you're in it." And she has answered. Okay. See? Don't fall back into those old patterns. Basically, the whole short of the story is don't fall back into those bad patterns. Don't let someone sell you a good story. And just because they're nice to you right away, you're following them. All right? They're telling me to draw one more card. 9 of Daggers. This is your bonus card. 9 of Daggers. 9 of Daggers talks about the divine speaking to you and showing you truth, but you looking over it, under it, around it, through it, but you're not looking at it. Open your eyes and see the situation for what it is. That's what you need to do. Okay? This card fell out of the deck. If cards fall out of the deck, I'm going to play them, because with me, that means that Spirit says that they're going to fit somewhere. So while I was dishing out your 3, 1 fell out, and it was the 8 of Crystals. Okay. Eight of crystals refers to nurturing or watering those seeds. Always go with the truth, right? Talks about watering those seeds of encouragement, those plans that you have in the back of your head that you have put off and put off and put off and put off. Now is the time to plant them and understand that you can plant them, but don't sit there and say, I don't know why they're not growing, because I planted my seeds. I knew what I was doing. But you haven't watered them. That sometimes the best laid out plans need to be nurtured. They're like gardening. They need attention. They need water. They need nourishment. Now is the time to take action of those ideas that you've had in the back of your head. Those grandiose plans that you have had, put on the back burner for years and years and years and years. All right. And these are things that are for you, honey. Time to put Mama Bear on the front burner. Okay. Time to water your own seeds. Time to let mom eat. All right. Time to nourish your own ideas that you've had for yourself, or plans that you've had for yourself, and encouragement for yourself. Does this make sense to you, Jay? You can say yes or no. That's fine. You need to start planting your seeds. You've taken care of. That's correct. Yes, because it's your turn now. It is your turn. You have taken care of everyone else. When is it time to plant your seeds? Now is the time. Don't hesitate on this, because the time may never be right again. And understand that your plans need work. They need attention. All right. So that is your reading for tonight. And I'll give you another full reading when the time is right. I can't let that go. I have to have my whole 13 to give me an idea of where you have been. Now I only have one kid left to go. That's right. One kid left to go. Your daughter is left to go, and that's it. I mean, take time for yourself, because if you're not making yourself happy, then it's trickle down economics. You're not making the husband happy. You ain't making the kids happy. Nobody's going to be happy. It's time for self-care. Time to take your turn. And that's what those watering those seeds are, or planting your own seeds, is self-care. You can't help or nurture other people when you yourself are completely laid out, when you're done, when you have exhausted all of your energy. So I want to start hiking, but I want to make friends that hike. Yeah. Start a Facebook page, or search on Facebook for people that are near you that like to go hiking, and see if there are hiking groups. There's groups of all kinds. I'm sure there's one out there on the internet somewhere that's close to you that likes to go hiking. Hiking out in nature is a very good thing. It gets rid of a lot of stress. It gets rid of a lot of worry. And you earth walk at the same time. You are cleansing your own spirit, honey. And that's the way it should be. You've got to do that for yourself. If you don't do that for yourself, you're going to be down in the dumps, and no one's going to be able to help you. All right. So I'm going to do Allie's real quick, and she may come back to listen to this eventually. So we're going to draw Miss Allie's cards. If I don't have a lot of people, I may just do a whole 13 and go back and redirect. My circle is small. Because I don't know what's up with my internet, but I don't see a lot of people on here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue to do Allie's cards. And like I said, Allie's living in another state. She's living in another time zone. So she may be a little behind schedule with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do hers. So she may be fussing with her children. So Beth, if you want, I saw that you jumped into the chat at one point. So if you're in the chat, please go ahead and say something so that I can get your cards read if you want a card reading real quick. So I'm going to be like, I can't think, his name is Madam Adam, and he's on TikTok, and I love when he comes out. He's like, Madam, this is Madam Adam. And if you're saying this could be for you. So let me go out of here and go in here again and see if I see Beth's comments. I just see Jay White up in here. Well, that's okay. Let me go ahead and do Allie's real quick here. Sometimes with my Facebook, if I do lives, I have to go back and read everybody else's comments. So, Tim, you're my moderator for tonight since you were in the room watching on I can see you on Facebook. So if you can point out people or just type it in the chat that they want their cards read, that would be grateful. I would be greatly appreciated. So, all right, let's go ahead and do Miss Allie's here. My goodness. Okay, Miss Allie, when you are on, I'm going to read your cards. Okay. I may actually do more for her. I may do more for you again, Jay. We're gonna see. Let me shuffle these cards again. I'm gonna shuffle them again. Because for some reason I don't like the way they laid out. I do, as a rule, when I'm in front of people, tell them that they can record, their readings. That is my honest opinion. Is not only am I being honest when I do cards, but it is for them that they may miss something that I say or forget something or something I say. They'll tell me no at the table. And then 2 hours later, I'm getting an email from them going, hey, you know that thing where you said ABC? And I said, no, that doesn't really sound like me. Well, 2 hours later, I remembered something in the back of my head and said, well, you know what? She's right. She's right. So, and that's, I'm working on their dime. So that's their money. And if that's what they wish to do, then I allow them to do it. Plain and simple. So I think we'll get to the divining rods a little later in our chat here. So, Allie, this is for you, honey. Aaliyah. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to do $13. Okay. So, Aaliyah, The first card that I'm drawn to in your past is the devil. Okay. Now, be mindful that when we speak of the devil, okay, even though this card looks extremely scary and we think of the devil as what we're taught to believe. Um the devil talks about being balanced and having balance in your life when it comes to your spirituality and things you were learned like you were taught. Okay. It talks about there must be balance. When we speak of the devil, a lot of people, we've talked about this before, when people have seen Baphomet, all right, which is the goat head here, like this one, with the human torso and the goat legs. He's got two fingers up and two fingers pointed down this way with the other hand. He also has the science or the medical symbol with the two snakes. I can't remember what it is. What's the name of it is at this point, but we all know what I'm talking about. Um, he was people that have idols or statues of Baphomet, they're not they don't hail Baphomet and they don't hail the devil, okay? Baphomet is a symbol of spirituality and science and how the two of them were meant to always work together. The two fingers up and the two fingers down talk about what you do on this plane of existence, you do to the other side. So remember when we say as when I talk about I'm frozen. So we're going to get unfrozen for a minute here and see if that happens. There we go. I'm a little unfrozen right now. Okay. So I apologize. I'm going to wait till the video catches me. Mm, I'm freezing. So, any hoodles. When I talk about uh you've heard me before say in my spiritual practice talk about as above so below. I'm going to wait for a second here because my screen is freezing. Can everybody hear me? Because I seem to be freezing. Okay. Let me try and fix this real quick. I'll be Oh. Mm, okay. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Again, internet issues. I can't help any of that. So, Aaliyah, same thing. We talk about Baphomet. We talk about what you need to do to balance yourself, what you need it to do to balance yourself. Okay. Um, the next card it wants me to talk about is the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups talks about um you bridging the gap between this realm and the spirit realm, saying that you need to contact spirit, that spirit is reaching out to you. However, you're not paying attention, darling. This was in your past. This is still connected to your past. All right. I'm going to plug in here that going good now. Okay. And we'll see if we can get them to come back out and go back in again. Go back over here and do this again. Okay. So this right here, the Nine of Cups talks about your communication. This is your past, your communication that was broken with spirit. Spirit was talking to you, but you ain't answering the dang door. You ain't answering the phone. Hello? What's up with this? You ain't answering the damn phone. This was your past, honey. Spirit's been with you this whole time, and you just never really wanted to answer the dang phone. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. The Hermit was over top of that. And when we talk about the Hermit, we talk about those who lie within seclusion. They just don't want to talk to anybody. They close themselves off. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to God. I don't want to talk to spirit. I don't want to talk to nobody. You know, I just want to sit in a corner and sulk in my own self-pity. Girl. It also talks about the Nightmare of Daggers. The Nightmare of Daggers having something to do with who you became in the past. You had so much trauma done to you that you just shut yourself off, and you became so rigid, you didn't want to talk to nobody. Everybody had an ultimatum. Nobody could get close to you. Even your closest loved ones, you pushed them all aside. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to be by myself and be angry and let my past traumas just take me over. Okay? Terror of Bones talks about mulling over someone who passed, someone that you had a close connection to that wound up passing away, that you just could not get over, girlfriend. That on top of the trauma that you've already suffered is not a good thing. That turns you into a hard person, a hard sell. Someone that just did not want to believe anybody, wanted to close themselves off completely to the world because you got hurt so many times. And that's a bad thing. That is a chain of events that has a domino effect. That if you are not addressing those and you are not learning to do shadow work and heal yourself from that, that leads in or bleeds into the present. Okay? The first thing when we move into the present is that we want to talk about or address two cards that Spirit is asking me to address. Number one, the Death card. Now, before anybody decides that they're gonna, scream and cry, go, oh my God, it's the Death card. How many times have you all heard me talk about the Death card? All right. The Death card itself does not mean death like physical death, like your death. I pull these cards out for some people, and right away they know it's going to die tomorrow night or next week, and da da da. I knew my death was imminent. I saw it coming. No. The Death card refers to death. Yes, it does. But it also refers to death of certain things in order for yourself to transform. Okay? So what we talk about is death of a bad habit, death of a job that was not right for you, death of a relationship that should have never been a bad relationship, um, death of old feelings, purging yourself of, uh, addictions, things that are not good for you, in order for you to rebuild yourself or transform yourself. A lot of the death cards that are in tarot cards, you will see them referred to as a moth. You'll see the moth right here. Okay, see the moth or the butterfly? Moths, butterflies go through the same process. They are caterpillars, they cocoon themselves, they get into a chrysalis, and then when they emerge, they are not the same thing that they were. They are something more beautiful. Okay? That is your present. Right now, this is what you need to do. You need to go through that transformation. And Spirit is telling me, and we have talked about this, that you are right now going through the transformation process. Death of a living situation that you should have never been in, death of an environment that was not good for you, and you shedding that. That's what this talks about. It talks about you getting rid of all that stuff, getting rid of that which does not serve you in order to raise your vibration, to make you a higher person or a higher vibrational person, or to become that better person, to become that person that you've always wanted to be. This is a good thing. All right. There's nothing bad out of that. Although in your present, we want to talk about the Eight of Cups. Okay. That Eight of Cups refers to communication again. Cups, communication. Miss Ma'am, when you gonna draw the line in the damn sand and tell everybody you done taking care of 1,100 things and everybody else's business and everybody and everything else that people should be taking, grown ass people should be taking care of them damn selves? You are not their mother. Okay? You are only mother to those babies you have. All right? Stop trying to do everything for everyone else but your dang self. You want to know why you're so tired all the time? You want to know why your mind is always racing? Because you're fixing everybody else's problems. You need to get down off of that stool where you're looking over that other person's fence and minding about their own lawn, about their lawn. Mow your own lawn. Okay? Worry about taking care of things that need to be taken care of by you that other people physically cannot do. The ones that you are in charge of. All right? Drop all the other things that are unnecessary that you keep doing for everybody else. And worry about what needs to be done in your own home. The only ones that you should be concerned with are you and them and your babies. That's it. Okay? Stop worrying about everybody else or fixing everybody else's problems. Juggling 1,100 things. Get out of here. Make me smack you. All right? Next, we talk about the Massacre of Bones. And I don't want to get cut off of Facebook, but we're going to say it anyway. Where's that bad bitch that you were supposed to be? With the divine helping you, Miss Ma'am. Where are you? Time for her to wake up. What you're going to do, the 10 of daggers, or the the Massacre of Bones refers to is straightening your crown. Okay? Straighten your crown, straighten your wings, fix your face, put your lipstick on, fix your dress, and walk. Stand up and walk like the queen that you can be. Because the divine has your back, honey bunny. All right? So maybe sometimes you were in the same situation because the divine or spirit realm had to put you in that same situation again because you didn't learn the first 1,100 times. All right? Self-confidence, ma'am. You are beautiful, you are strong, and you are powerful in your own right. Walk with confidence and walk like you know something. All right? That's what you need to do. That's in your present, ma'am. Hello, today. Not tomorrow, not what next week, today. Okay? Next is we're going to move on to your future. Your future requires the star. The star talks about self-healing. You got a long road to self-heal yourself, honey. We all works in progress, honey. There isn't one of us here that can't do with some self-healing. Don't worry about healing everybody else. Okay? Heal yourself. This talks about inner healing, spiritual healing, self-healing, and mental healing, emotional healing. All right? You can't rightfully take care of somebody else while you are broke yourself. And don't worry about those other people. There are people that are walking around in this world who don't want to be fixed. They like being broke. So leave them alone. Leave them broke. Don't try and change people. Work on yourself. Show yourself some love. Show yourself some self-care. This is what is in your future, honey. You need to continue to do this. You're on the road now, and you got a good start. You need to continue that. All right? You got a long way to go, baby. All right? Two of Cups refers to communication again. But the Two of Cups talks about it could be talking about that inner dialogue that you need to have with yourself. That come to Jesus meeting that you need with your inner self. Okay? That's what it talks about. It talks about sitting down with yourself and deciding what you want to do with yourself. And drawing up a plan of action for that. All right? So you need to sit with yourself and have inner dialogue, inner conversation. Unable to chat on StreamYard. Private chat seems to be working. Oh, well, that is not a hoot. All right then. Can't post comments to some destinations. All right, well, I don't want to post to certain destinations. Maybe sit down with yourself and have that inner dialogue, okay? We also talk about the haunting of cups. We talk about in your future, if you don't learn from your past experiences, ma'am, you are in for it again. Don't let people fill your head with junk. If you don't learn from your past experiences and from what you're doing right now, you're going to fall off that dang wagon and you're going to be back in the same position again, making someone fill your head with a whole bunch of nonsense. Oh, but they love me. Oh, but no, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. And this comes the best card of all, Miss Ma'am. Now, Missy, I've known you for a very long time. All right? Quite a few years now. This is in your future. Justice. Best believe that those people that were around you, that fed you hook, line, and sinker, those people that did wrong by you, are eventually going to get their comeuppance in the near future. Justice. What was unbalanced will be balanced. So trust and believe that those people in your life that did you wrong will finally get the day they deserve. and it's coming within like the next 3 to 6 months, my love. You will finally get the justice that you have been looking for. Please let karma do her job. I know people say that karma may be slow. And I don't like the way karma is being so slow. Honey, you better trust and believe that karma is slow with purpose. Because while she's warming up that bust, she is taking stock. Okay, oh, you want to do that again? Okay, we're going to put that in the book too. Okay? Because when this bus comes by, vroom, vroom, beep, beep, okay, you got a one-way ticket. And you cannot not get on the bus. And not only am I just going to run you over once, but see all these things I've been taking down. Why you think I've been slow? All the times. Taking down every little detail. I'm not going to run you over just once. I'm a vroom. Then I'm going to beep, 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 beep. Back it up. Vroom again. So that you get exactly what you deserve. You are going to be made to feel every bit of pain and suffering that you gave everybody else. So that person, Miss Ma'am, this one right here, they're going to get everything they deserve and then some. All right. I know it's been a long time coming, but it's going to happen within the next 3 to 6 months. Anybody out there want divining rods? You can do divining rods. Or am I just going to sit out here all night to myself? I don't know. I'm going to look real quick up in here on this and see. I've had 48 views and 46 comments. But I don't know at this point. We're going to keep it going here. We're going to keep it going. Let's go down here. And I haven't seen all 46 comments. Well, we're gonna work on it. I'll be tell you what, I don't know if I could see Beth in here. I can't see Beth. Mind me with my nose. It's itching my nose. But we're gonna move on. Anybody have any questions for the divining rods? The divining rods work on yes and no. So these tarot cards actually work with spirit to help paint a picture of what be a little more give it more of a story rather than yes or no. Okay. So the divining rods are basically yes or no questions. They work on spirit moving the divining rods. Way back when, some people still call them dowsing rods, and you can pop in if you want, Tim, to tell folks that way back when, people used to use what they call dowsing rods. A lot of people call these dowsing rods. They call them divining rods. They used to be able to point people to water. So way back when, in the southern states, specifically during the pioneer days, they didn't have municipal water. They had wells that they had to dig. So what they would do is they would get a branch off of a tree that kind of looked like a Y, that had a main branch and that had branches going this way, like almost like a Y. And they would hold the one end and have the Y shape facing the ground. and they would walk with those divining rods back and forth. And the water, they used to be able to pick up water and used to pull you, or you would feel tugs of where it wanted you to go. That's where the water was. When the pull got very strong, they would say that would be their cue to dig there, and they would eventually find water. And that's where they knew where to dig their wells. So, these divining rods work with spirit, and you're not supposed to hold them real tight. We learn to settle the rods. They swing back and forth. When they stay stable, that is no. When the rods cross, that is a sign for yes. Or when they move, and I'm going to move them for you like this, or when they move like this, that is to signify yes. Just like pendulums sometimes will swing one way for yes and one way for no. All right. Anybody have any questions that they want to ask the divining rods? I don't know if we've lost a lot of people, Tim, since the last time. I had to go out and come back in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have no control over the Wi-Fi and the weather and things
Yeah.
of that nature. I know I
Yeah.
lost some of my access to the chat and the regular public comments.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to do the private chat, between you and I, which is okay.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, if we have anyone that's in the chat room, won't be able to chat with them. But on a note, with the dowsing rods, the divining rods, uh,
Mm-hmm.
whichever one that you're accustomed to calling them,
Yep.
there's a technique, and also I was introduced to the old willow rods, the branches, back in the
Yep.
day,
Willow
long time
trees. Yep.
exactly. And at that time, that was the best use for the Appalachian people to
Mm-hmm.
find water or any type of energy, which could be from spirit or magnetic, whatever the case might have been from, coming
Right.
from Mother Earth. Um, those things I rely on 100%. I use them in my investigations a lot. Um, Another thing also, Buffy, and you know this, and the ones
Mm-hmm.
who are very familiar with it, cousin Miranda, she uses them on every
Mm-hmm.
investigation that she goes on.
Yep.
The fact of the matter is, those rods have to be in tuned with you, just like stones, correct? Your energy
Yep.
has to be
Yep.
tied to those rods. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so my rods are very important. I use them all the time,
Yep.
and not only just for investigations, but if I'm looking for, say, like conduit in my projects that I'm doing, I'll use those
Yep.
rods to point out the electrical that might be buried. I know I used the rods one time uh, on a commercial project that was going to cost a lot of money because the project
Mm-hmm.
was old. Nobody knew where the tanks were located. Electrical was located. I found every single one of those areas that had been disclosed with those rods, and we
Mm-hmm.
pinpointed it right down to the very T. I trust them. They're very reliable, and also they're very reliable in your investigations when you're doing paranormal
Yep.
investigations. They will pick up energy like your
Mm-hmm.
original, your electronics would.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not better
Yep.
because the spirits can't manipulate those rods like they can
Yep.
electronics. As we all know, electronics runs
Absolutely.
off of energy, batteries. Those rods runs off of your energy as well as the magnetic
Mhm.
energy from Mother Earth. So they can't manipulate that.
Correct. Now, what is your comment towards other metals other than copper? Now, I made sure that mine were copper.
I've always used copper because that's a conduit. And,
Right.
some people may have other alloys that they might use, but copper to me is the most reliable and it's the best. Um,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
that's what I use.
I use copper too. I make sure that they're copper. These, I don't know how the audience can see them or who's going to watch later because we have a lot of people that actually watch later. I've gotten comments on our YouTube page that, oh, I forgot, or I had to work late, so I wanted to come in later and watch it. Mine here, you'll see are copper, and for the same reason that Tim likes the copper is because copper is a better conductor as far as like energy is concerned. That's what's inside all of your wiring to your TVs, to your oh look, see Tim's got his. So uh when people go and they root houses or old dilapidated houses, they strip wires. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for this, the copper on the inside.
Absolutely.
Copper is a great conductor, and it's worth a lot of money, to be totally honest. If you take it to a scrapyard, I'm surprised that more people who own scrapyards haven't gotten a little more fishy about someone rolling up in a truck and having like I don't know entire spool of copper wire. They don't ask questions like where'd you get that from? They just they just okay. Um, but eh, I like mine. I'm getting used to using them more often. I didn't used to use them. Uh, um, the rods themselves. Um, but I do use them more now than I have in the past. And I'm getting used to them. And it's not that I didn't like them. I didn't, uh, it's just that I was uncomfortable using them because it took me a longer time to get these attuned to me than any other product that I used or any other form of divination that I used, which were the cards, pendulums, things like that. And I got frustrated, I guess, because I had a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, I used mine right away, and it worked, and da da da," and well, good for you, because I'm getting frustrated because mine don't seem to want to answer me just yet, you know. But the more and more that I handle them, and that's the most important thing. Like when you're talking about uh divining rods, dowsing rods like these and Tim's, if you're talking about pendulums, you're talking about um tarot cards, things of that nature, witches runes or another one, or runes themselves, whatever pagan practice you're from that you use runes, um you need to handle them. The more you handle them, the more they will pick up on your energy and know you and answer you more than anyone else. Um, Pendulum's a little different. Pendulum, you have to train them a little differently. When you pick up your pendulums, the first thing you need to do is hold it in your hand, get it used to you. Uh, you might want to put some smudge over them or some sacred smoke over top of them, and hold it in your hands. Keep it in your pocket, hold it in your hands, do whatever you need to do with it to get it to attune itself to your energy. And then when you start to use it the very first time, you need to put it on that pendulum board. They work with boards. You can use a cloth, and it's usually a circle that says yes, no, maybe. I believe I have one in here. Well, let me see if I can find it. I do believe I have one in here, and I can show you what they look like. And it's nothing but a round little board that you use it for asking questions. And they are basic questions. Yes, no, maybe, or ask another time is another one that some of them have on them. And I'm rooting around this in this thing like a hog rooting for nuts. Maybe in my other bag, but they're circles. And in that circle, they have another circle. In between the two circles, there's yes, no, maybe, ask another time. And what you do is you take that pendulum and you put it in between your two fingers. The pendulum will have a bead on the top to stop it from going through your fingers. So you let that bead rest in here. Okay. And then when it rests in there, you get it to stop swinging. You settle it. And once it's completely settled and it's not moving, the first thing you ask it is to show you yes. And it'll start swinging in a certain direction. And maybe it's swinging to and fro, like in front of you, this way. Sometimes it swings this way, vertical, which is the up and down. Horizontal is this way. And then you know its answer for yes. Stop it, let it settle again, and ask it to show you no. And you'll see that it'll start swinging in the opposite direction. That's no. Okay. Once you train it well enough to use the board, it will immediately start swinging to yes or no on the board. You'll train it to the board. Some people don't have boards. They just use the pendulums themselves. And that's when you ask to show it yes or show you no. And I'll swing in opposite directions. Those are a little more difficult to train because you have to learn how to settle the pendulum really good to get it to stop moving. I love my pendulums. I use them often. Tarot cards were my first that I started using when I was very young. And then I moved on to pendulums. And in fact, Tim gave me a beautiful pendulum that I use on my investigations whenever I go somewhere that I need to use pendulums. I use that now. I had a generic pendulum that I bought at a metaphysical shop for years until Tim sent me that beautiful one, and I get compliments on it all the time when I go somewhere. It's like, oh my goodness, where'd you get that from? It's absolutely beautiful. I can't find one that looks like that. Well, I don't know where you're going to find one because it was gifted to me by a dear friend. So what I can do is just to show you with these divining rods, since we may be running out of time. I got another 10 minutes before we have to go off air. But what you do is there's beads on here to allow it access to swing. So you don't grip it and hold it like this really tight. You just get them comfortable in your hands. You place your two thumbs at the bend, right above the the first beads to where it bends. And you can ask a question. Uh, hey Joanne. Hey Joe. How are you, hon? Um, you will never find one of that caliber. You won't ever find one of that caliber. Um, and I'm not spilling beans of where Tim found it. I don't even know where he found it, but I thank him every day for its use every time I use it. So we can settle the divining rods real quick in our hands. These happen to be Gabby's favorite. Gabby loves these. So you see that they're straight now, and I don't know how well you can see them pointing um, in the camera. So I will ask it, is there spirit around me right now? That is a definite yes. You see them crossed. All right, thank you. And it's a good thing that when you use divining rods or you use pendulums, each and every time you get a reaction from it to say thank you. I mean, we all have to be respectful of spirit. So why not ask it to say thank you? Just teach yourself to say thank you each and every time. So you can ask it things like, I'm going to ask it one specific question. I'm going to go into the private chat. There's one private chat. Dink. Unable to use. Okay. So, Jojo, do you have a question for the divining rods or the dowsing rods? Let's see here. All right. I am going to ask it if one of my spirit guides are here that I know its actual first name, their actual first name. So again, you're going to settle your rods until they are straight as such. And I'm going to ask the rods, is Lucy here, my spirit guide? And you'll see how they move, right? They definitely crossed. Let's ask it another question for myself. I'll be the guinea pig for tonight. And you can do it, for yourself. You don't have to do it just for someone else. So I'm going to ask the rods. So because I played the Powerball, and I had a hunch that I was going to play the Powerball. So am I going to win the Powerball? Am I going to lose the Powerball? Of course, because I'm not a gambling woman. Let's see. I don't know, Tim. Why don't you ask the Divine Rods a question? Jojo, I don't think wants to ask any questions tonight.
Yeah. Am
Okay.
I going to win the lottery?
You better share if you do.
I'll share. I'll share with everybody.
Okay. Is Tim going to
Not
win the
greedy.
Powerball? Nope.
Nah, I didn't think so.
Didn't think so. Didn't think so.
Didn't think so.
Didn't think so. I'm gonna watch here. Let's try. What else do I want to ask it? Okay. Now Things have gotten a little quieter since I've gotten my cat, Maven. So I'll ask the spirits in the house if it likes the cat since she's been here. All right, let's get her settled. Let's get her straight. Okay, since they are straight. Do you like the cat being here? So I guess that's a yes question.
Definitely a yes.
Yep, that's definitely a yes. So these are a few tools that we talk about divining. If I didn't get to answer all your questions, I will go live on Facebook probably sometime at the end of this week to recap because my FaceTime or my Facebook sometimes will not allow me to see everybody's comments until the very end. Okay. I'm gonna win. Okay. Wait, are you gonna win, Dave? Let's see. I just saw Dave's comment. We're gonna try
Yeah,
this. All
looks
right,
like Dave
Dave.
wants to know if he's going to win.
Is Dave Cummings gonna win the lottery? Nope. Sorry. It doesn't seem like any of us are gonna win the dang lottery. And that was just an example question, but I will go back sometime this week and you know, do an example of the divining rods on a Facebook Live or on, you know, on my YouTube channel if that's what everybody wants to do, and I'll get to maybe some more tarot card readings before we end because it's getting late tonight. Before we end, it sounds about Dave said sounds about right. That sounds about right for me because it didn't say I was going to win either. Tim ain't going to win neither. So I
No,
guess we're all SOL when it comes to the time that's from the divining rods to win the lottery. Anywho, I wanted to keep you abreast of things that I'm going to be doing since I have the opportunity, unless in the next 10-15 minutes, to talk about what I'm going to be doing. Um, I want everyone that listens to this or everyone that sees this, and I'm going to be mad if people don't show up, or at least some people don't show up. On July 19th, I will be doing a special event at the Tree of Life shop in Ringtown, Pennsylvania. Now, you have heard me talk about Mr. and Mrs. Tree and the Tree of Life shop. I am very grateful to call Sherry and her husband Bill family, Holly, Mary, all of them family, Rachel as well family. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but Sherry helps run an organization called Save the Strays Schuylkill. It is an organization that is a charity. They are a non for profit organization. They work strictly off of donations. These are men and women who get calls sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, midnight, at any day to come capture a colony It is cycling and cycling and cycling. All right, everybody. I'm back again. I apologize for that. You have all heard me talk about Sherry and the organization. They get calls multiple times a day to come out and trap hurt cats, stray cats, feral colonies. They've even gotten called to hoarding cases. Come out with the cats. They bring them back to their organization. They send them to vets. They have them spayed. They have them neutered. They have them examined. If they need surgeries, they get the vets to do the surgeries. They foster cats and then they adopt the ones that are suitable for adoption out to loving families that want a cat in their life. They are overrun. They had made a comment that on their Facebook page that their intake is closed. They can't take any more cats in at this time. All of those things cost money. The fosterings cost money, between food, the traps, gas, time to go out and get the cats and bring them back, vet bills, the surgeries that some of the cats need, antibiotics, medications. That all comes from donations. And when the donations run out, they're going to be done. They have so much more good things to do for these poor cats. Many of you know that I have Maven. Maven's been with me since the day after Valentine's Day. February 15th, I adopted her, and I just had to have her, and she's been the chillest putty cat ever. In fact, I'll see if I can get her to come up here for a minute. Come here, baby. Come here. Look at this little baby. This is my baby. Say hi, May. Say hi. This is my baby girl. And she was once a stray. She was found in a broken down camper, no food, no water, no heat, no air conditioning, struggling to stay alive. And they came out and got her. They got her fixed up, they got her spayed, they got her neutered. All of her shots, medications, everything was taken care of by Save the Stray Schuylkill. I am going to be doing a charity event for this organization to raise money to help them to continue to do good work. That day, there will also be adoption papers, hopefully, so that you guys can look through the pictures. Maybe some of the kitties will be there. I'll see if Sherry can bring some of them over that are up for adoption. And you know what? You may want to leave with a kitty. They need our help. They really, really do. And Sherry needs your help to continue to do the amazing work that they do. Adoption fees are minimal. It's $50, and that's not even a quarter of what they recoup after the cats have been microchipped, vetted, given all their shots, spayed, neutered, taken care of. I am doing this event. It is going to be on July 19th. I am going to be channeling 2 ETs, extraterrestrials. They don't like being called aliens. They're extraterrestrials that have been following me one has been following me for over a year. Actually, over 2 years, I think. The other one has been following me for over 6 months. They come and they contact me via dream. They come and contact me, when I'm not sleeping. Sometimes when I'm awake, I will hear their voices. They are Kita and Abe. And they have dictated the day of July 19th. because they want to be honest with everyone. The theme of what I'm going to be doing is called Do They Walk Amongst Us? And they do. They want to be very honest and tell you how long they've been here, why they are here, what is their purpose, what is their connection with the earth, what is their connection with human beings. Every question that you have ever asked about ETs will be revealed that day. And their existence, our future, and their future. And why they come here. What is their purpose here on earth? So it is going to be a ticketed event. It is going to be $40 a ticket. I am not taking anything home. Not one red cent. All of that money is going to be donated to Save the Stray Schuylkill. I also, not only on top of the $40, I want you to come with a can of cat food. Whether it's a can of cat food or cat toys or blankets or something cat related. Litter. There will be a box that I'm bringing with me that you can put those in. And it will be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at 392 West Apple Street in Ringtown, Pennsylvania. I want at least some of you to show up. I mean, you know, I've done things before where no one has showed up or very few people have shown up. And that, you know, those people I've literally walked away from because I've been there for them multiple times. I'm not asking you for myself. I'm asking for the Save the Stray Schuylkill. They don't have a brick and mortar. These cats immediately go to the vet. They're in quarantine. They immediately go to the vet. And then after the vet, when they are deemed healthy or physically capable of being around human beings, they are fostered. They spend a lot of time with foster mommies and foster daddies, and learn to adapt themselves to humans, human touch, being handled, all that good stuff. So I am asking you guys to show up for me. Not only for me, but for Sherry, for Rachel, for all the people who are tireless and go out and sometimes a great majority of the time, dip into their own dang pockets to help feed these cats, to give them the medicines they need. You will hear the story of Timberfrost, who was a cat that got its poor paw stuck in an animal trap, like a bear trap, and was out there crying. They found her, and she lost her leg because someone was being cruel to other animals, and she was starving and walked into the trap to get something to eat. It caught her, and she is lucky that she is alive. She is a tripod now because they had to take that leg. It just was not salvageable. The amount of surgeries she's had, and physical therapy, medicines that were needed. This is a worthy organization. It is a worthy cause. I am asking you guys to spend $40. $40 will help pay for some medicines for a cat that needs antibiotics, needs medicines after surgery. Anything that you could donate for them would be of great help. They don't turn anything away. They also have an Amazon wish list that I will post. I think they have a Walmart wish list as well. I'm asking you guys to show up. And I'm going to be a little upset if nobody shows up. But the people that have confirmed already that they were coming. This is an important thing for me. This is you giving an animal a second chance at life, because if they were turned over to a regular SPCA or not so much a humane societies would turn them away because they don't have enough. They're overrun with cats. SPCA, euthanasia, because they just don't have any room, and that's unfair. The cat didn't ask to be living in a feral colony. The cat didn't ask to be let go from a loving family and just turned loose on the streets. The ones that cannot be rehabilitated to be adopted they are then returned to where they were found. However, they are returned neutered and spayed to reduce the population of these stray and feral colonies, which are not often that they are returned. There are a lot of adoption stories to tell you. I will tell you that Maven saved me, initially Turtle. I didn't know that I was actually saving a cat that would eventually save me. Yeah. So, that is her story. And now she's living like a queen in my house. In fact, we call her Mayhem Maven, the queen of the house. And she is my beauty little girl. There are so many that they have that are looking for adoption and are looking for a little bit of love. If you're looking for a kitty or a cat, a senior cat, please don't shop, adopt. These cats need your care. All right. And $40 isn't a lot. $40, seems like you can't even buy groceries for, $40, but you can buy heaps for a cat for that amount of money. So I'm asking you to dig deep. I know people are struggling, but just to see these little kitties or be around these little kitties and the smiles on people's faces and how sweet, just so sweet they are. They deserve a second chance. And I expect you all to show up. I know it's a long drive, but if you want to continue to see me do this, or me, you know how I am when it comes to animals. They tug at my heartstrings, and this is important to me. It really, really is. So I am asking you, July 19th at Tree of Life Shop, 392 West Apple Street in Ringtown, Pennsylvania, from 1 to 4 p.m. I will be doing a benefit where I will be channeling 2 ETs. And they've got a lot to say. If you've ever wondered or you've had questions, they say that they're willing to answer all the questions. They don't want people to fear them. They're here for good reason. And some of the reasons will surprise you. They are reasons that they have talked to us about before that we've been on the show about. And a lot of things are going to be revealed about our connection with them. Why are they here? What is all about this abductions and whatnot. And they're going to be revealing a lot of truth about what we talked about in prior shows regarding some landmarks. There is nothing to fear. I am in good hands. Kita is very lovely, and they talk with a soft voice. Abe, every once in a while, he's very analytical, so he doesn't get into the mushy stuff. He's just about facts. He's like Dragnet, just the facts man. And I call him a he, but they're androgynous. They are neither female nor male. And they have a lot to talk about when it comes to dimensions and how there are things that are not, they are not what they seem, and how they get here from way out light years away. So that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for you guys to show up for me. You are going to need to call the shop, and I will put it in. I will put it out on Facebook. But what I'm going to do is I am going to real quick of life shop. I am going to give you the phone number to the shop. It is closed now, so please do not call now. You can call tomorrow. You can call anytime from now until probably the 12th of July. You can even call all the way up to the 15th or the 19th, excuse me. Call all the way up to the 18th of July. 18th of July. Phone number is area code 570-741-3574. And let them know that you're coming, because we need to know seating arrangements. Okay? And I will see if she can bring some of the kitties with her. And see if she can bring some of them along, so that you can witness the good work that they do. I mean, when they pick up for adoptions or they take home for adoptions, I've been there for one or two of them, and just the amount of smiles and then the tears happen. It's a great thing. Save the Strays Schuylkill is on Facebook. You can look at their Facebook page of all the pictures of the kitties that they have up for adoption. They had some that were there last weekend that were absolutely adorable, and they were all named after Egyptian gods. The only one that was taken at that time or spoken for was Bastet, a female named Bastet. And I'll tell you, they melted my heart. I just wanted to pick them up and love all over them. There were about 5 of them in there, 4 or 5 in the crate, and I just wanted to love all over them. They were just the most adorable things ever. So I'm asking y'all to show up, and I'm going to draw it into your heads until you do. Okay? I don't want to hear it. Enjoy the ride. Come see the Shenandoah Valley. Come see the small city of Ringtown. The beautiful leaves changing, the beautiful sceneries on the ride up. Make it a day. All right. And that's all about I have to say. I will be at Pepperlee's at the Pepperlee's Boutique this coming Saturday. So if you are interested in a reading from me, I will be at Pepperlee's Boutique, I believe. Let me just check my calendar real quick here before we go off air, and Tim will kill me because we're running over time. Let's see. Yes, the 21st of this month, I will be at Pepperlee's Boutique from 12 until 4. And Pepperlee's Boutique is in Concordville, right off of 322. All right. It's 818 Baltimore Pike, Glen Mills, Pennsylvania, which they call Concordville, but it's Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. Come by, do some shopping. It's an antique vintage store. They sell antiques. They buy gold, they buy silver, they buy costume jewelry. There's a crystal reader there, and all kinds of good stuff. Come shop, and they're doing a VIP, and I believe you're getting discounts too if you buy something from Pepperlee. Come say hi to Julie. Come say hi to Gina, Marie, all of them in there that work. Denise, who does the crystal readings. Come say hi to everybody. All right. I'll be there from this Saturday from 12 to 4. So I'm going to end this shenanigans tonight. I think I used up enough of everybody's time. Tim getting ready to go to bed. I'm getting ready to go to bed. All right. So with that being said, I love you all. Good night. Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Bye.